don't think I usually see you on this side of the shop. Are you sure you're not lost? You're into bread today. That's a little unusual. What are you in for? What are you looking for? It's for a disguise, isn't it? You don't have to be coy with it or anything. Don't be all, oh, I need a secret item for secret things. Just say you need a disguise and I've got you perfectly settled. You see, we have a little something interesting in stock right now. They're called wigs. No, not like the normal sort of wigs that you see on the aristocrats from certain nations. What you're looking into is a wig that will not only change what your hair looks like, but completely change your face and your body structure. I know, it sounds a little wacky, especially considering you're not really much of a magic user yourself, but I promise you, that whole lovely little face of yours will become a completely different lovely little face. You're interested, aren't you? I can see it. Okay, why don't we try something out? So, first things first, this is very important. What country are you going to be going to on your secret mission or whatever? See, what I needed to know about that is, well, Edarwin, it has some unique styles, and therefore the best way for you to fit in is to not fit in here. It's to choose something very weird in the hair color and very flamboyant in the structure. So, let me show you what I got. Okay. Now this is something I use quite often to find the right hair color for each mission. Let's see. Just picking off a couple of colors here. They don't quite fit with the Edarwin. They don't quite fit with the Edarwin style, but there we go. That should be fine. So, you have quite a few to choose from. We have multiple models in each of these colors. Now, you might be choosing a color based on just what's your personal favorite color, or you might be picking it based on maybe even just the kind of person that you want to transform into. Now, the color itself doesn't exactly change what your face and your build is going to be. That's about the style. But the color says something about what your rank is when you go to Edarwin. You see, the brighter the hair, the higher the rank you are, because it means that you can afford to dye your hair those marvelous, lovely colors. It's very fun to play with this, isn't it? Now, go ahead, look through, pick out a few different colors that you think would be interesting. I can whip out whatever styles we have for that one. Okay. Don't be too serious about it. This is supposed to be fun. All the serious is for when you're doing your secret quest or whatever. Okay, I'll hold it still. That one. I see. Well, it seems that for that one we have 4 styles in stock. Yes, 4 styles in stock. You can always custom order. However, if you want to go on your quest a little bit sooner, we do have some things for you to look at right now. But I can get every single one of them in that color from the back. These are just our little sample ones that I have out on this table. one to start you with? Okay, I know the one. Simple though this may look, this is something of a fan favorite of people who like to take on disguises. The type who usually go on disguise-based quests are, and I don't mean to judge at all, they're usually rogues. And rogues, well, let's just say they're not usually the most spec'd in the strength department. So, with this wig, it's going to transform you into someone quite powerful looking. It doesn't look like much, but it's quite a sporty style, and it's got just a little bit of magic in it that, even without any styling products at all, amazing, isn't it? Just through twisting the wig up like this, you can make it spiked. This adds, I know it looks a little silly off the head, but it adds a little bit of intimidation factor actually, at least in Etterwin. Because the spike style is the style that their warriors take on. And with the color that you chose, I would say that you would probably be seen as, what's the word for it? An ancestral warrior. Now, what that means when you're in Etterwin is it means that you come from a family full of people who have all taught each other the warrior arts. And it's been passed down for generations. Because you have like a brightly colored one, that means that your family is quite wealthy and likely pretty highly ranked in the Etterwin army. So, if you take this, just simple little twists to get it to stand up, and the arrangement isn't too particular, but if you focus the spikes sort of on the top in a vertical fashion, it means that you're very focused on like an impending fight. And if it's sort of all around, then you're basically just, I'm off duty, but I can still fight you. The inside of this particular style has a dark net and is quite stretchy, which is important because when you take this on, it'll form you to be quite a bit taller, very imposing, so that you can really fit that warrior persona that you're hoping to take on. It's very sturdy in the sides and has a very dense mound of hair in the front. You can see a little bit of a texture to the hair at the base of it. You can see some texture at the base of the wig. That helps it keep the spikes up quite easily, even without styling products, which is probably going to be especially impressive to the people of Etterwin. And yes, I know that seems a little bit frivolous, but I guess that's kind of how Etterwin is. Let's take a look at another style. This wig here is very different from the last one. It's a little bit of a rarer wig for people to take on because it is a little more focused on what it can do for a rogue while they're infiltrating than just giving off the appearance of a different person. As you can see, there's a little bit of illusion magic on top of it, on top of the transformation. Under certain conditions, if you have any small amount of magical training yourself, you can implement this to go stealth mode, it has some properties that sort of reflect the atmosphere around it, and that leads it to make it almost seem that you're see-through at points. Besides that, the style is very choppy and uneven, which is something that's quite popular with Ederwin youth. Not like super young children youth, but like teenager. This would like you, with this wig, you would be transformed into a older teenager, young adult, and with the color you chose, you would kind of be giving off the rebellious air sort of feeling to you. It would make you quite a bit more petite, sort of the I've been living a cushy lifestyle, but in like cushy lifestyle but make it fashion kind of way. Like you're still extremely preoccupied with your appearance, but you want everybody to know that you're very rebellious at the same time. That would make it not unusual for you to sneak out of situations, which is where the whole illusion thing really comes in. Now let's flip this inside out, and you can see this one is a little less sturdy, just as stretchy, but doesn't need quite so much sturdiness, as the assumption here is that you're going to be doing a little bit more cushy work in between your sneaking. But it's built for comfort. It will be something that you can just keep on for hours and hours every day, no big deal at all. Well, yes, you can trim the wigs, but I would be very cautious in doing so, because sometimes that can remove a little bit of the magic. You need to make sure that you're not cutting too close to the net, which stores the part that will transform you. Let's take a look at another. This style, allow me to get a brush. Lovely, isn't it? This is a wig made to impart the vibe of, say, a high-ranking official, an aristocrat for sure, especially with the color you chose, but someone well-groomed, someone perhaps a little mature, maybe, say, around 40 to 50 years old for humans. Yes, most of these wigs do maintain a human appearance, and mostly that's because of their prevalence in every nation. We do have wigs for other races, but I'd say if you're going for Ederwin, you're best off blending in if you go human. Feel the fibers on this wig. They're especially silky. This gives you a little bit of a charm bonus, not only because you're going to give off the air of someone who could get someone else in trouble pretty badly if they were crossed the wrong way. This just adds charm in the way that you walk, in the way that you talk. You present yourself in a way that would be very advantageous for if you're trying to persuade someone. As you can see, this particular style has a middle part to it. And the reason that this is important is that when you come to Etterwin, a style that isn't spiked but has a part such as this says that you have some ties to the royal bloodline of Etterwin. I know, it seems so silly, but even the smallest things like that. But although it adds the charisma, although it adds some prestige, it does make you a little bit more in danger of getting called out, so to speak, because due to the correlation of the middle part, it's a social faux pas to wear this if you aren't part of the royal family. So expect a fair amount of quizzing on the history of Etterwin. Yes, this is a wig that comes with a homework assignment. Let's give it another nice little brush. It's almost hypnotic, isn't it? And on that note, I have another wig that I'd like to show you. This is the last style that we have in stock for the color that you chose. Of course, if you change your mind at any point, we can go through some other styles and some such. However, I think that it would be well in your interest to take a good long look at this one, because of the four, I saved the best for last. This needs a little bit of a brushing, actually. Hold on. The hypnosis thing? Oh, okay. While I brush, I can speak on it. Each of our wigs changes your appearance, and each of them has advantages and disadvantages, both in the way that they're socially understood and sort of the way that it helps you complete your operation. This wig is, in my personal opinion, one of the most powerful ones we have. As I understand it, you're not much of a magic user yourself, which is totally okay. No judgment. Not every family line holds magic in their blood, and even then it's a very difficult skill to learn. This wig answers the question that we've all been asking for centuries and centuries. And do try to keep it on the down low, because this wig was handcrafted by old grandmama artificer, and we don't quite understand what she put into this to make it work the way it does, so we don't want anybody to know about it before we quite understand it. It is usable and it's totally safe. We just don't want it to get stolen. So, I know you're wondering, what can it do for me in terms of magic? Well, this is particularly good at any kind of illusory magic. Up to, say, the size of a full-grown human, you can create an illusion, whatever you think of, within that size realm. You can't touch it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it. However, it is important in that you can lead someone to believe that you are in one location when you're in another. That is beyond valuable for somebody who's on some sort of spying mission or something of the sort, a quest in which they might be gone for quite a while and need to distract someone. there is no range on the illusion, although the illusion will only do what you set it to do. It can't come up with whole new personality traits or anything. You can tell it to be polite to the people around it, but it won't go into deep conversation or anything, that sort of thing. This wig, in terms of appearance, well, it transforms you into a pretty boy. And that might be a little bit difficult with the missions because then everybody's going to want to surround you. It might be hard to wander off, but I guess the illusion part should help with that. Imagine that it's going to make you the stereotype of the most beautiful man in all of the kingdoms and such. Now, that might be something that you're uncomfortable with, only because the attention can get a little bit annoying, but I mean, I guess you get the benefit of magic, you get the benefit of being super duper beautiful, and you get the benefit of getting the ability to toss it off at any moment. Yes, this is our most expensive wig, however, we only really rent it, so I can probably give you a good price for that, depending on how long your quest is. So tell me, did you see something you like?